A new trove of documents is shedding light on the circumstances of the Trayvon Martin shooting. Florida investigators released nearly 200 pages of documents, photos, videos, and recordings on Thursday, detailing the conditions of both Martin and George Zimmerman, the neighborhood watch volunteer who fatally shot him. The evidence begins with surveillance tape of Martin in a Sanford, Florida 7-Eleven the night of February 26th. He was buying Skittles and Arizona iced tea. The documents also include Martin's autopsy records, which indicate that he had THC in his system. That's the psychoactive ingredient in marijuana. However, at least one forensic scientist says it was such a low level it wouldn't have influenced his behavior. The police report also shows that Martin was shot once in the chest from no more than 18 inches away. Paramedics told investigators they were on the scene within minutes.
Saw the victim laying on the ground, kind of in the grass, off the sidewalk. And police were there. They were already doing CPR. They were doing mouth to mask. So told him to stop, put him on the heart monitor. Heart monitor showed no activity.
A paramedic described treating George Zimmerman.
He was sitting in the police car. He was in handcuffs. He had, cuts and abrasions on his face, his nose. He had some damage. He had a cut on the back of his head, and we basically just cleaned him up.
George Zimmerman's father, Robert, spoke to investigators. He said recordings of the incident boost his son's self-defense claims.
The 911 and the other tapes were played for the Martin family, and they identified that as their son crying for help. That is absolutely, positively George Zimmerman.
One investigator who called for Zimmerman's arrest said the fight with Martin could have been avoided if Zimmerman had stayed in his vehicle and waited for police. That investigator also said there was no evidence that Martin was involved in criminal activity before his deadly confrontation with Zimmerman. Ross Simpson, The Associated Press.